Hello, Bisons. Day today. It is Friday, January 17th. It is already 6:59 a.m. You guys, we're a little bit slow at the start here today, and for that reason, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna start at the top of the watch list, you guys, and we're gonna be looking at the US 30 here. I want to show you guys that these strategies, these concepts that I'm showing to you, they apply to all markets. They apply to different markets. They don't just work in forex or with indices or with commodities, you guys. You can apply this universally. So I'm gonna start by looking at, well, if we remember on a previous edition of Day Today, we're trading at these levels over here, and it was very unclear what the market wanted to do at the time. So I was not interested in taking any long positions. And we can just go down to a lower time frame and see what that was looking like. This was the day. This is the area. We were trading in here, and I was looking at it, and I was not interested in going along at these levels right here because, like I said, it was very unclear at the time. And as we can see, we did have a little bit of a down move. I was already looking at this, you guys. I'm gonna remove these so you guys can see the logic behind those levels. And as you can clearly see, we had a move down here, and if you guys are paying attention, you will see that we had our pendulum form like so. That's not the high. We had our pendulum form, and if we highlight our pivot, we can see that the market did move away. Not slightly, this was a significant move. And once we had our return to it, however, we have even another pendulum forming right here, and this would give us our pivot. And as you guys can see, well, the subsequent up move followed from these levels right here. Now I'm gonna go back to a higher time frame, point something out to you guys. Look at the volume in these candles in this move right here relative to what we have happening right now. You can see that these candles are very small. The moves happening are very lethargic, and it is at that point again where it is unclear. The market is in a contraction phase after this expansion right here. So we do the same thing, you guys. We wait for a breakout of this consolidation right here. We don't try to guess how long it's gonna take, or we don't try to predict anything, you guys. We wait for the market to give us the information that we need before we can make any decisions. So with that being said, I'm just going to keep on cycling through my watch list here. And what do we have? Now, we have our pendulum forming right here. It is rather bigger than the ones that we've been using so far. I'm pretty sure I can find other examples in here, but I want to show you guys that we can also use this as the pivot point once it presents itself as such. It doesn't matter how large the area is that we are taking for a risk. I like to use these levels use smaller levels for the risk parameters, but it's all in the position sizing, you guys. As long as you guys are using the proper position sizes, then it doesn't matter how big the pivot point is. It doesn't matter how much volume is in the candle that we're using for the pivot. Okay, just use the proper position sizes and you guys should be okay. And for those of you guys who are not seeing the pendulum, how we derived our pivot, this is the pendulum right here. Should be clear for you guys to see. If it is not clear for you guys, that means you are not studying enough, you are not practicing enough, you guys. How many of your 10,000 hours have you dedicated so far? You guys need 10,000 hours at this. So if you are not making up those hours, you guys need to be spending a lot more time on your charts, looking for these things and seeing for yourself that they work, so you can put your trust in this like I place my trust in this. Okay, we're just gonna go to today's day, and well, actually, let me go back to a higher time frame and point something out to you guys. We are still in our first touch at our level. Okay, the market moved away slightly and returned to our level, which is exactly what we want. So we can be looking for a long position around these levels. However, we do see that there is some liquidity built up right here, and the market is a little bit lethargic, a little bit slow, and these candles are low volume. So that is an indication to us that it might not be ready to move yet. So we'll see if we get some form of a test on this low. We might have a pendulum forming, you guys, where this is the point number one. This could be point number two on our pendulum. So we wait to see what happens. Right now, we don't have to make any decisions. If we pay attention to our economic calendar, we can see that we have high impact news events coming out in about an hour and a half or so. So we'll try to get as much information as we can from the markets leading up to that point before we make any decisions. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep cycling through our watch list here, and let's see what we have, you guys. Now on this market, we can see that we have a sustained up move over the last couple of days anyway, and we can see that we had a break in market structure happening right here when the market is closing above this high to the left. However, we also have a shift in market structure happening right here once the market is closing below all these swing lows right here. So we have a bullish break in market structure. We have a bearish shift in market structure. That is such a paradox, you guys. So let's see if we can find a pendulum. We have this as our pivot point. More recently, we have this as our pivot point. And this one I'm going to highlight for you guys because this one is a little bit harder to see. And I want you guys to know that even though the pattern looks the same all the time, there are very slight nuances in the way that it will present itself. So this is the pendulum for that one, which is why we have this as our pivot point. Okay, I'm gonna leave that on there for you guys to see. Take a screenshot of this, you guys, and make sure that you guys are going over these charts. Make sure you guys are looking over these concepts while I'm introducing them to you. We do not need this on a lower time frame. So we can drop down and see what we have. And actually, I'm just gonna start using the London session, and I already have my London break. I'm gonna have that go to the next session, and I can already label that as my London break. Now take a look at this, you guys. Although we have the market move away from our level and it is returning, this is going to be our first touch, right? Right now, if we were using the lower time frame by itself, this would be a level where we would be going short, and we could be actually executing that short position right now. However, we have to take into consideration the fact that what is happening on a higher time frame is completely opposite to what is happening on a lower time frame. This market is flashing us multiple signals right now, you guys. Like I said, we had a bullish break in market structure and we have a bearish shift in market structure. So we have to wait for it to be a little bit more in tune with itself before we can make any decisions on our own. Okay, the market still is not clear enough for us to be making any decisions. We have a pendulum forming right here, given this to be our pivot, like so. And actually, I would be more interested in going long on this level right here as opposed to taking any form of a short position. And the reason for that is the simple fact that we have been in a up move on this market, like I said. So we are not trying to take any counter trend trades, not in this market anyway, not right now. Let's go to a higher time frame and see what we have. And this is definitely not a one touch level, you guys, so we can just go ahead and remove that so as not to confuse ourselves. And immediately I can see this as my pivot point. These things pop out at me, you guys. It's like the lady in the red dress. Okay, once it's there, you cannot see it. If you guys are not seeing them as much and as quickly, as clearly, well, you already know what that means. You need to study more. This is already a one touch. We have a move away and a return to it, and we have been moving away again. Now, there is my most immediate liquidity point is going to be the previous day's high and the previous day's low. Previous day's high is forming equal highs with this swing high right here. So there's a lot of liquidity resting above these highs, a lot of liquidity resting above these highs also. And this market is also in an uptrend right now, and the most recent price moves have also been to the upside, so that confirms it even more, you guys. I am not interested in taking any short positions on this market right now. I am only interested in looking for opportunities to enter long. And with that being said, we're still going to wait because we do still have that news coming out in just a couple, well, a little bit over an hour from now. We should have that. So we're going to wait and see what we get leading up to that point. I'm just going to keep on cycling through. Right now, we're just trying to glean whatever information we can get from the market leading up to that point. We're not expecting any major moves to happen before that time when the news comes into the market. However, we do want to look at the information that is being presented to us. And we can see here that this market has been in a down move over the last couple of days. Anyway, we were looking for opportunities to go short. If you guys were looking at the previous videos, we were waiting for the retracements from these down moves to fade every retracement, you guys. Every time the market retraces, we were looking for opportunities to go short. However, right now we are in a little bit of a range. There's some consolidation happening at this price level right here. So we have a, well, I don't want to say a shift in market structure because it already is a bearish move. However, we do have that bearish swing continuing right here. We have a run on this high right here for liquidity. And well, with that information, we can just drop down to our lower time frame already here. And I'm going to start with the Asian session on this one, just to see what we had present to us in those moments. This would be our Asian break. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that for all to see. We already have the market moving away. This was definitely not a one-touch level. However, we can still use it to get some information, and we can see that the market is still trading below all these levels. We did already get a break above this high, and it did actually close above. So we do have our London break. And for those of you guys who are new to the channel, welcome. And if you were wondering why I am merging these two candles together like this, it is because this is the London break, but I don't like that it does not have enough volume by itself. Okay, so sometimes what I will do when the candle that I need is relative to the ones around it is very low volume, very small, then we can group a couple of them together to get a better level to choose from, because like I said, this is going to be our risk parameters for our trades, and we do not want to be too tight with our stops, because then we get knocked out of our trades by the spread, by just the market gyrating. We don't want to get stopped out of our trades prematurely. And same situation applies, you guys. We're just going to be waiting a little bit more. We have to be patient, you guys. We have to be very patient when it comes to waiting for these moves to happen, because we cannot cause the moves to happen ourselves. So we have to wait for the wait for the market to show its hand. Okay, we're playing a game of chicken. It's who blinks first, and we always blink last. We wait for the market to blink first. We wait for the market to show us what it is going to do before we know what we are going to do. This is just a bearish shift in market structure, you guys. Nothing too crazy. However, I remember pointing out to you guys that the other markets are correlated. So this down move right here, you guys, I am actually more interested in. Let me go to a higher time frame and see what we have, because this looks like a significant down move. However, it is merely a retracement, because this market is also, as you will see, in a bit of an uptrend, at least recently. Now, if we take a look at what we have here, we will see that coming out of this consolidation period right here, we do have a bearish break in market structure, with the market closing below all of these lows. This is not a run on liquidity, you guys. Well, we had a run on liquidity here. However, the market did maintain those lows, and we can say this is somewhat of a deeper pullback that we have happening. And we have a pendulum forming right here, which would give this as our pivot. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, drag it out a little bit in time, and we can clearly see we did not even return to this level yet for our first touch. So I'm going to go ahead and put an alert so that we can be notified if and when the market does return to these lows. That would be something to look into as an opportunity to go long, actually, using this pivot point as our first touch. With that, I'm gonna go down to a lower time frame and see what we have. And I want you guys to make a note that these price charts, it's a fractal. Okay, and what that means is the same information that you guys are seeing on the higher time frames is the same information that you will be seeing on the lower time frame. When we drop down to our lower time frame chart, the information does not change. Okay, it's just shown in a little bit more details. We use a little bit more. There are more candles that we're looking at. However, if you guys understand your candlestick math, then you will be able to group a bunch of these candles together to still even see how it looks on a higher time frame. So for example, I don't have to go to a 15-minute chart or a 30-minute chart to get an idea of what it looks like. I can look at a 5-minute chart and I can see how the candles are being painted on a 15-minute chart, on a 30-minute chart. Okay, try not to go further than that, you guys. Just go up to a higher time frame. But with your candlestick math, you can definitely see a few time frames at once, and you guys will notice for most of this I am only using 2 time frames, you guys. That is also very important, that we are eliminating variables from our system. We do not want to have too many contributing factors to our decision making process. Okay, we try to keep as many constants as we can, and we try to eliminate as many variables as we can. And the more time frames that we're looking at, the more things that we're looking at, you guys, is the more variables that we're introducing to the system. And well, that is counterproductive. Okay, we don't want to have too many things juggling that could affect the decision that we make. Okay, we try to simplify our decision making process as much as we have simplified our trading system here. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, you guys. Write that down. And right here, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this level as my London break. I should not have to explain to you guys why. This is the first candle that closes below the range that was formed in the first 30 minutes of the London session. Okay, we already had that time elapse and we already have that range being broken. We can go ahead and highlight that. However, we can clearly see that this has already been invalidated as our one touch level. This that is happening right now is a second touch on our level. However, we're going to highlight it and we're going to keep it on a chart. Like I said, we're not trying to make any decisions right now. We're just doing some analysis, checking what we might have happen for today. As a matter of fact, if we're waiting for some retracement to this level, then we definitely don't want to be making any decisions if or until the market comes to this level right here. And we can just keep going again, and we would have made it back to the top of the watch list, you guys. So for right now, I'm just gonna allow for some time to go by. So we did allow for some time to elapse. We were waiting for that news driver to come into the market, and we had that happen a little bit over 2 minutes ago. So we're just gonna cycle through real quickly to see what we had happen. We can see that so far the market is still trading at the same levels that we were looking at earlier. Well, on this market, we can see that it is expanding just so slightly above these highs. We did say that we are seeing if the market wants to trade above this level. It was already there literally, so there was no opportunity present for us to go long on any trades. We did not have any clear opportunities, so we still do not have any clear opportunities on this market. We can go to a higher time frame and see. Yeah, so we are taking liquidity above these highs right here. If the market is maintaining these highs up in the side of this liquidity pool, then that could be an indication of strength in this market particularly, and we can be looking for opportunities to go long. Not today, you guys. This is a Friday. This is the last day of the trading week on these markets anyways, so not much is expected to happen. We will not be forming any long-term biases for today. So if we keep cycling through our watch list, you guys, looking for whatever opportunities might be present to us, we can see that the market for the most part did not move, not really. So the news driver that came into the market just a couple minutes ago is not having an immediate impact. However, we do not discount it that there will be volatility for today. We just have to wait and see what opportunities become present to us. We do have a liquidity run above these highs right here, you guys, which is actually a little bit interesting. I was not interested in any short positions on this market earlier. However, like I said, being a trader means having the flexibility to trade, to change your mind. So if we do not get stuck in any bias, you guys, we do not try to predict or guess what is going to happen in the market, because we ultimately do not know. We wait for the market to show us, and then we can react to what is happening. However, no reactions are to be made right now because we do not have any movement that could indicate to us that there is a opportunity coming. Not right now, so we continue to wait, you guys. Patience, patience, patience. And we always want to look at our higher time frames first. That will give us bias, that will give us stronger levels to use. And notice in all of this consolidation period right here, well, this would be our pendulum actually. We have a pendulum forming. We have one, two, three, one, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Now, pay attention to this level right here, you guys. We can see that we have a pendulum forming, which would give this as our pivot point. And remember, you guys, a pivot point is simply somewhere where we are expecting a change in direction in the market. Now, because we are expecting a change in direction in this market, we are not trying to guess what direction that market is going to move to. Okay, we are not guessing at anything, you guys. We are using the information that is present to us. Okay, if you have to guess at something, that means you do not have enough information present to you. And if you do not have enough information present, then you should not be making any decisions. Okay, now what we have here is already a slight move away. You guys look on your higher time frames, we already have a slight move away and our return to it. So technically, this market should only be going lower from here if it is to be in keeping with what we have on our higher time frame. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring that up again so you guys can see we already have this down move happening right here. We have our pendulum, and we can probably choose a more recent one. What's the close on this candle? Look in the top left corner of your screens. You will see your OHLC. Those are your open, high, low, and close. And each candle that we hover over, you will notice those values changing. Okay, now the close on this candle is going to be 1.21714. The low right here is going to be 1.21750. Okay, so clearly 1.21714 is lower than 1.21750. So we have our candle closing below, and we have to update our level, you guys. So we can remove that one and highlight this one right here like so. We can just draw that out a little bit into the future and see what we get. And our opportunity for our short position has just been invalidated because we are now inside of this pendulum. Like I said, we are still in a little bit of a consolidation period right here. The market is stuck inside of this range from this low to this high right here. We're about at the 50% level on that range, and we do not have a move away from our pivot point right here. That is what we will be waiting for. Unlikely to happen today. However, we do not discount that as a possibility. We will be checking on this one momentarily. So we're just going to keep cycling through, see what we have. Same situation, you guys. The market is still at our levels. No move away. And this has been disqualified as a one-touch level 2 times over now. So we are definitely not interested in anything happening at this level right here. The market is staying there too long, you guys. That is the reason why we are not interested. We are looking for repulsive levels, price levels that the market does not spend a lot of time. It goes there and then it leaves that price level. Those are the levels that we are looking for. Those are the levels that we want to get into the market. And yeah, as you guys can see, well, so far no major volatility was injected with that news driver. So as of right now, we have made it back to the top of the list, and we did not find any opportunities present for us. So we're just gonna have to allow for some more time to go by, and we can check back what we have in just a couple moments from now.